Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors, Salakia, to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp, here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today I'll be coming out with a lesson. I don't have much of a title for it, but as you know, there has been a recent law that has been passed in Uganda, and it strictly, directly prohibits actions of the LG HDTV LED community, because you know that don't fly everywhere around the four corners of the earth like it flies here in Babylon. And them other heathens, them Ugandans, is not going for it. They not with it. And it's been a real big uproar of people, because I got Twitter, so I've been like paying attention to this stuff. Been a lot of things coming out. Some stuff is you got to be able to pick the meat from the bones. But nonetheless, this thing has caused a whole uproar, and people over here in Babylon all in a bunch and tied up and tight by it, when they fail to realize and understand that just because something fly here in Babylon don't mean it's gonna fly everywhere else. So a lot of these nations ain't with that tomfoolery, like at all, under no circumstances. But without further ado, I'm gonna play this little excerpt, and then I'm gonna just get a few scriptures and I'm gonna close it.
For many months now, many in the international community are saying that by your signing of this bill, you're taking Uganda a step backwards, that you are not protecting the freedoms and the rights and the choices of the Ugandan people. So how do you respond to that? And specifically, President Obama has said he was deeply disappointed by Uganda's move and says that it would complicate US-Uganda relations. I've listened to everything that you've said in the statement. So how would you respond to that? And does it worry you? And have you spoken directly to President Obama about this?
Well, we have been disappointed for a long time by the conduct of the West, the way you conduct yourselves there. But we just keep quiet. We just see how you do things, the families, how they are organized, all these things. We see them, we keep quiet. We never comment because it's not our country. Maybe you like it. So, since there's now an attempt at social imperialism to impose social values of one group on our society, then our disappointment is now exacerbated because we are sorry to see that you live the way you live. But we keep quiet about it. Now you say we must also live like us. That's why we say no. We say no. And am I worried? Not at all. We should be worried about what? Because to tango needs two people to dance. If the West doesn't want to work with us because of homosexuals, then we have enough space here to live by ourselves and do business with other people.
Yes, speak, and then we go to Catherine Gerhardt.
There is.
So there you have it. The current president that's been newly elected has spoken for his country. And he was like, look, basically, just because that fly where y'all at, that don't mean it comes over here. That don't mean we got to do what you doing. But nonetheless, let's get a few scriptures. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. So the soul of who? The one that's pushing this narrative. His soul is not lifted. It's not right. It's off like a light. And his soul is not upright in him, meaning he don't Esau, gotta say it, doesn't go according to the natural order of things. He goes against the natural order. But it says the just shall live by faith. So the just of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua are going to live by faith. Going to be bold, stand strong, stand tall. Verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So he transgresseth by wine. What is one of those wines that he, Esau, transgresseth by or with? His special letter people community. That's what that's a transgression. That's a wine. That is of man. That is not of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua. It is what it is. And we're starting to see on a world stage, on an international scale, that these other nations don't accept the laws and the statutes that Babylon is trying to put out in the four corners of the earth. They're not standing for it. They're not going for it. And again, this is the Ugandan president just showing you that these other nations are standing up to Babylon. They're saying no to the wine. They're saying no to all the philosophies and the beliefs. But see, that's Esau. He's a proud man. As the Ugandan president was saying, he is now telling other people in other countries that they got to do and live like he lived. And other people, it just don't work like that. It is what it is. It just don't work like that. But Esau is a proud man. He does not keep at home. As you can see from this is concrete evidence that he doesn't keep at home. He's not minding his business. He's telling other countries that they got to do and live the way he feel and think that they should live. And what? He enlarges his desire as hell and is as death. And these other countries know that the wines and the philosophies of this place is death. It'll destroy you. And what's he cannot be satisfied. Esau can't be satisfied. He's not satisfied with a country just okay being an alliance and still doing their own thing. He's not satisfied with that. He takes over countries and still isn't satisfied. So that's Esau in a nutshell. He gathered unto him all nations, all people, all nationalities on the earth, and heapeth unto him all people. That's what he does according to the scriptures. Hey, come on over here. Come to my country. Do this, do that. Hey, you can do this in your country when these countries ain't having it. They standing up. And I'm bringing this lesson out to point out the fact that these other nations are standing up against America, as prophesied and spoken of by Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua and his men. Verse 6. Shall not these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So shall not these other nations take up a parable, a taunting proverb, looking at him, looking at Esau and his power structure with the side eye or the stank eye? These other nations is coming against Esau. And it says, woe unto him that increases that which is not his. So woe means destruction. And Esau has increased in much that is not his. And he has laden himself with thick clay, debt. And he can't get out of it. Let me see. Verse 7. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booties unto them? So these other nations are going to rise up suddenly and start to attack Esau, bite Esau, come against Esau, come against the how it says the Western power structure. These other nations ain't having it. They gonna rise up and they gonna awake, and they waking up. And they starting to see that the philosophies, i.e. the wines of this place, it is not good for running a country. They actually see that it destroys a country. So that's why he passed his bill. Like, no, we're not gonna play them games over here. And that is what that is. And that's basically what these other nations are gonna start doing. These other nations are gonna start saying, nah, we ain't doing that. Regardless of whatever it is. They're gonna start standing up against America all the more and start, nah, we're not going for that. Well, you got it, nah, we ain't gotta do nothing. That's how, and that's basically what this Ugandan president is saying. He's like, nah, we ain't gotta do nothing. We ain't gotta do a goddamn thing. But that's what's gonna happen. These other nations gonna wake up and start to vex this place. And guess what? And be booties, i.e. treasure. Ripe for the picking and or taking. Verse 8, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because Esau has spoiled many nations. The remnant of these nations, these other nations around the four corners of the earth, they're going to rise up and spoil Esau. Because of men's blood and for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein. So there you go. Because there's been much bloodshed around the four corners of the earth behind Esau, these other nations are going to rise up. They're getting tired of it. They're getting tired. That's why they're passing legislation and slowly but surely locking Esau out. America. Because America, Babylon, is the power seat of the tabernacles of Edom power structure in the earth. My last point, let me see. Okay, verse 9. Woe to him, destruction unto him. Who's that him? The tabernacles of Edom. And more direct, Esau. Woe to him that coveteth with an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of Salakia. Yes, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. I thought I misread that. Okay, but woe to him, which means destruction. What that coveteth with an evil covetousness. Esau is always covetous. He's always been covetous. What was not his. Want to control was not in his power. To what he's coveted an evil covetousness to his house. What that he may set his nest on high. Esau always trying to be hiding somebody. Soon as an Edomite get in power, they're always trying to flex muscles. That's how they go. That he said that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Of course, you know, Esau ain't finna be delivered from no power of evil. Because he is the one that is evil. But continuing. Verse 10. This is my last point. Let me see. Well, I keep saying my last point, so I'm going to go all the way down until it's my last point. Verse 10. This is, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. So Esau has consulted shame to his house, to his power structure, to his foundation by cutting off many people. And you got there know well he stay trying to cut Jake off. He stay cutting off Jake, trying to get rid of Jake off the earth, but also these other nations. Just look at Africa in a whole. All that poverty and division. That wasn't just those Hamites alone by themselves. Esau had something to do with that. That's why it's like it is. But he's consulted shame. He's cut off many people and has sinned against his own soul. So Esau was in a, how they say, a conundrum, a pickle of a dilly, and a rock between between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, Esau done got himself in a trap, and now he can't get out. And guess what? It's all the power and the doing of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And guess what? And it's for and the fact that Esau has dug himself in such a hole that he can't dig out of. Guess what? It's righteous judgment according to the Father, according to the scriptures, according to what's right. It's righteous judgment when Esau gets judged. I'm gonna jump down to verse 12. That's my last point. It says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth Salakia, a city by iniquity." So woe to him. This place was established by blood. The fact that these other countries, these other nations around the four corners of the earth, and Esau was there, he did that by blood, by going to war, fighting, spilling blood, killing innocents. And it says, woe also to him that what established a city by iniquity. We all know what iniquity is. That's immoral living. That is wicked, being wicked, basically. In layman's term, being wicked. Doing the things that are contrary to Yahweh Shai. So, woe means destruction. So the fact that Esau is over here messing with these other nations, trying to force philosophies and wines and doctrines and beliefs on other countries because for whatever reason, well, it's not working no more. It's over with. And the Lord finna get ready to get Esau up out the way. This is just another instance of another nation standing up. You already got the BRICS nations. You got Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Sudan. That's Africa. And you have other nations that are joining unto the BRICS nation. So, with that, Shalom.